Hello and welcome everyone to yet another stream of Network Programmability Lab. This is Dmitry, DevNet t-shirt, DevNet hat. We are ready to start. Okay, so before we jump into the lab, I have a couple of announcements to make. The first one is around 1.5 weeks ago, I had Power of I6C Programmability webinar on Cisco Learning Network, and the recording has been posted already. It was posted, I think, sometime this week. You should be able to find it if you go to the page that I put in the chat. So the recording is already there. At the very bottom you can find the Power of I6C Programmability, and this is just, you know, one webinar divided into the 5 smaller pieces. Thanks Zelan Tamer, and thank you very much again for a subscription, very much appreciated. Tell me how's your lab prep going? Did you have the written this week or last week? Or you still didn't have it, because I don't recall. There is also a concern and question if I am going to speak Russian. No, this is English only stream. Okay, so yeah, the written is in 63 days. Sorry, I forgot completely. Yes, yeah, so you have quite a lot of time. Yeah, good luck with that. With the effort you put into that, I believe you will get it without any problems. Actually, speaking of the written, I think I will need to do written myself at Cisco Live, because my CCIE expires in late July, and yeah, I need to get written to restart it. And yeah, I still haven't decided if it's going to be written CCIE RS or CCDE written, or maybe I will just do continuous education instead. Still haven't decided, but I really have to do it because the time is the deadline is coming, you know. Okay, so yeah, the recording has been posted. Feel free to check it out. There was some demo as well as part of the webinar. Another announcement is my blog is back, so I really decided to dedicate effort to get it going. So right now you don't see the new content yet, but I'm pretty close to finishing at least one post, and the second one is somewhere, you know, like 50% done, or maybe a little bit less, but I really hope to have it released next week. And as well, I will probably even put something on my calendar regularly, so that I have my time blocked specifically for writing. So this was my New Year's resolution, and it's already April and I still haven't done anything. So stay tuned for that. The first post that is going to be released next week is going to be about Cisco Live US last year and some memories and stuff. Something that, you know, that is in my heart and I still remember. So, you know, some emotions and memories. I'm going to post about that. I will definitely have a couple of technical posts as well. So I have an a rough outline in my head for at least 5 of them. So I hope if I commit to writing, it will be good. I just need to dedicate some time to it, and you know, there is never enough time. Okay, so also this week I was in Ohio, US, with some DevNet folks and some folks from different departments at Cisco as well, and we were working on music content for DevNet Express. And DevNet Express is a Cisco 2-day event about network programmability, where it can be for partners, it can be for customers, where we teach and show some different network programmability features and stuff, and we don't really expect a lot of experience from people coming, so it's I think it's pretty successful event, and me and the team got together to rewrite the content for it, so now it should be even better. I'm really excited about this. We really put a lot of effort into it, and I'm pretty sure it will be great. So yep, stay tuned for announcements from Cisco DevNet, and you will know when you will see it. Okay, I will also, for the next week, I will start preparing for my Cisco live sessions. So this time I have a couple of those. So I will have one DevNet workshop on async.io. I will have one small machine learning session. I will have 8-hour lab on enterprise network programmability. And I am helping with 2 more. One is unbox, just how did we call it? Bring your own tag engineer, and this is Unbox Python library. The project that me and a colleague of mine were working on for quite a while. I will be helping there. I will not be the main presenter, and I will also have Python for network enterprise elements, and again for this session I will be helping, not the main presenter. So far, like 5 sessions. Pretty busy, especially for async.io. It's a session which is going to be written from scratch, unlike others, so I still have a lot of work to do. Okay, so before we start with our network programmability, let me share some of my impressions from this week when I was in US. So this was my second time in US. The previous time I was in Las Vegas last year for Cisco Live, and this time I was not so far from Cleveland, Ohio, in suburban area. In Richfield, Ohio, where we have one of Cisco offices there. So probably the most painful thing was me staying at the US border for exactly 2 hours. That was exhausting, and the flights as well are exhausting. Like, my trip in total was around 15 hours, I think. So yeah, those trips, I don't like the flights and stuff and airports. But other than that, I had really good impressions about US. This was my basically first time when I am not in some kind of artificial city like Vegas is, in the middle of desert. So I was in the city where people you know, like, I'm not sure if it's like typical or not typical, but you know, it didn't feel artificial. It felt like, okay, people can actually live here. Yeah, I liked it. The only think was the weather wasn't so good. So while here in Poland we have, I think, around 20 degrees Celsius today, there we had around 3-5 degrees Celsius, and on one day there was extremely heavy snow. But other than that, yeah, it was great experience. I liked it. I was impressed with how many different dining places you have in US. At least there. So yeah, tasted different food and met different people. That was really great experience. So I will be in US as well. I think in 2 weeks time in California. Let's also see what California has to offer. Yep, so this is briefly like intro. Now let's get to the lab. So last time we had a stream on Saturday, not Sunday, and we were writing a custom action plugin for Ansible, and it went, I think, quite well. We got it done. Maybe we didn't get it done, but it was around 85% complete. And then later after the stream I did some additional work and I got it done. So we will go through that. And I think for today we will see how then I can use these modules that I written last time with some standard functionalities that Ansible offers, to bundle it all together, to tie together, and see if it's actually working or not. And I think for the next stream I will have to. I still haven't recreated my main lab, as I call it. It requires the whole revamp. Didn't have an opportunity to fix that, but I'm pretty sure I will have to do that so that I can continue working with Ansible and see some new different modules. One of the modules that I'm really interested about is Napalm Ansible, and another one is NTC Ansible. So they both bring some multi-vendor support and some additional capabilities that usual network modules in Ansible do not have. So this will be covered next time. Okay, so let me switch to GNS3. It's right here. So this is a lab topology that we used for the last 2 streams. We're still going to use it today, and the next time we will use our main topology. For those of you who didn't see my previous streams, let me quickly introduce you to this topology, what this topology is about. Oleg Yarur, thanks very much for following. So in this topology, and this is partially, this is part of my daily work. I will not be able to share all of details, but basically there is some equipment that is connected to what is called matrix switches with a bunch of ports, and the idea is that using Ansible I would like to build arbitrary topologies over these matrix switches using Q and Q tunnels. So for example, and I would like to have my lab topology look like this. So let's say R1 should be connected to switch 2, R1 should be connected to switch 1, and let's say R2 should be connected to switch 1. So this is what I want to have in the end, but physically all of these devices are connected to matrix switch. One or of 2, but there can be more than 2, obviously. So my module is supposed to be able to translate this intent that I want to have R1 connected to R2, for example, specifically to some Q and Q VLAN number. So let's say this will be, for this connection, I will have VLAN 2500. So we translate it to .1Q VLAN. And in the end, it should also be translated to the end configuration for the matrix switches. And ideally, I should also be able to provide some startup configs for my topology. And to be able to load it up. So this example is not, it's not really vivid because there are only 4 devices, but the idea is that you have a lot of physical equipment, which is supposed to be like pod gear, and you have matrix switches that are in the middle, and based on your topology, where you say, well, I want to have one switch connected to another one, this router connected to another router, and I want this topology be replicated 10 times, for example. So this Ansible playbook and custom module will convert this kind of intent to the underlying config, and you will be able to create your apps like this. So let me walk you through what I did off the stream. So one of the things that is done is Vars Plugin. So this Vars Plugin is going to directory topologies. It looks for the folders. Let me show you one of these, let's say programmability lab. And this topology file is nothing, is just basically connections. It is a dictionary where you have key connections, and as a value you have a list of lists, where you say, well, I would like to have this router SJBR1 on the port Ethernet 1.1 to be connected to SJ distribution switch 1, Ethernet 1.1, and so on. Okay, so this is and this is like host name of the device in the lab. Okay, so ideally I will also create here something else, which will be called configs. And in the configs folder, I will have a bunch of files. I will say I will have my startup config for SJBR1, and this, let's say it will be txt. And let's say I will have hostname SJBR1, so not a lot of config. So let me replicate this. I will have SJBR2 as well, and I will have SJDSW1 txt, and I will have SJDSW2. Okay, so let me copy that. Okay. So yeah, this is a folder with startup configs. Here I have my connections. Now, if you look closely in my Gen3 topology, though, I don't have this SJR1, SJDSW1, and so on. I have R1, R2, switch 1, switch 2. The reason being is that this is a like physical gear that you have in your lab, and this is some kind of logical topology that you would like to build, and maybe your lab have one set of host names, right? And then your another lab have different set of host names. So that's why those do not match. and this is where my script is supposed to be able to handle it. So the Vars plugin that I written quite a while ago, it's called Load Topologies. It goes under this Topologies folder, and for every folder it takes a YAML file. It takes the topology YAML file, and it loads this to every single host present on the device. So for example, if I go to my hosts.yaml, I have here a pod gear group which contains pod routers and pod switches, R1, R2, switch 1, switch 2, and I have matrix switches, matrix 1, matrix 2. So this plugin goes through this folder structure and adds this topology details to every single adds this topology details to every single host that is present in inventory. Okay, so this was written before. Let me show you. Oh, one more thing. There is this labs, and in this case I have my YAML file 1_programmability_lab. And if you look closely on this, and for now you can disregard this part, this labs this YAML file has two keys. One is devices and another is pods. And in pods I say, well, for my current lab I will have only one pod of the flavor programmability lab, but you may also have several pods at the same time and you would have something like this. So I will have also pod number 1001, which is the same, but I will also have another pod with the number 2000 of the lab type dev. So basically you can see you may have a number of your pods with different topologies if you want. Now devices is something different. Here you have a list of every single pod gear, pod device. So I have switch 1, switch 2, R1, R2. And the idea here is that you say, well, this physical device is going to be part of lab topology 1000 and it will have a name SJDSW1. The same applies for SW2 and so on. And if you have a lot of devices, you can still put these pod numbers, different pod number, for example, if you have a number of pods, but the lab name, host name can repeat, for example, if you have two pods of this. Okay, so for example, you have something like this, and you have, let's say, four routers. You can say, well, this R3 and R4, they will be part of the pod number 1001, and they will still carry this host name as JPR1 as JPR2. So yeah, this is the idea. You have a bunch of physical gear where you want to build different topologies on top of it. Okay. Okay, I actually need to pause this for just 5 minutes, so give me 5 minutes and we'll come back. Okay, we are back. Sorry for the delay. I had an incident with my glass of juice, which apparently fell on my desk, and some equipment here was endangered, but it seems everything is fine. Maybe one cable will stop working, but other than that it should be alright. Okay, I'm ready to continue. So yeah, in this file basically I'm assigning a particular piece of pod equipment to specific lab. And last time we wrote this file, a big portion of this file. And you know what? Let me change this line which ends at 79 character to 90. Say what, 93. Okay. Okay, so yeah, let me quickly walk through this one. So this is what is called an action plugin, and difference between action plugin and module is action plugin is done before the module kicks in, and it's done only on the controller, not on particular devices. So as a basis for a lot of modules, there is actually an action plugin. Tasks like template module is actually a template action plugin. So it's always executed directly on the Ansible controller and not on the target hosts for Ansible. So what we are doing here, first we are going to look for this devices key, which is we get from here, and basically keep this assignment of physical gear to the pod gear and lab host name. So basically you're saying that actually, you know what, it's vice versa. We are saving the pair of lab host name and pod number to the pod gear. This is what we are doing here. Now this one is a little bit different and it uses parts that I didn't show you before. So also as part of host variables on the matrix switches, like here, another thing that you are supposed to put here is connected device and connected device port. So these are interfaces on the matrix switch. Excuse me. Interfaces on the matrix switch where I say, okay, Ethernet 1.0 is connected to physical gear R1 and on the port 1.0. And also the port for this will be .1Q tunnel. So my script goes through all of these interfaces and it says, okay, I will take the pair of the connected device and a connected port and map it to the name of the matrix switch and to the port number. Okay, so it's just logic for doing that. There is nothing really hard here. Just we are going through every matrix switch and then through every interface. Using enumerate you can get an index, and now we are having the mapping of the physical pod gear and physical port to matrix switch and matrix port index number. And this is on the next before block, the next loop. This is where the magic begins. We are taking this variable called .1Q tunnel VLAN start, and I think it should be part in matrix. Yeah, it's right there. In matrix group variable you have this number 2000. I can actually put 2500. We are going through pods like here, and we are getting the current pod number and the lab type for every device. Okay, now that we got it, we go through our topologies. And we are getting these pieces. Once we got this, we can convert this particular lab host name to the real host name. We already had a dictionary before. And also we can get a particular matrix switch port number. And this isn't just a bunch of logic to do that. And I'm looking. And if all goes well, there are no errors caught, we are getting into this block where for that specific index number for the specific matrix switch, we are going and adding the VLAN number, that is current .1Q VLAN number. We are adding state present, dynamic true, and we also put a beautiful description which says it's connected to the specific device, to specific port of the specific device. This device is going to have very particular lab host name and pod number. And then we just increment the VLAN number. And here these two parts, we are going through every matrix switch and through every pod device, and we are just adding some variables and we are updating those using result Ansible facts. So this is going to be set for the device where we run it. Now if you go to the playbook, and I think it's roles, this one, this is supposed to be the one. We are using this module once, we are doing run once, we delegate it to localhost, delegate facts true. So we will be setting those variables to localhost. And here we are using another interesting construct, loop together with setFact. So we will be looping over the localhost devices inventory host name and the specific dictionary list called updated vars. For every item there, we are going to set this variable. Let's say it was interfaces, so one of the variables that we change is interfaces. So then we will set fact interfaces for specific device, whatever we had on under localhost devices inventory hostname interfaces. So that's quite a long explanation, so let me just run this and you will see exactly what I mean. So I'm going to source from my virtual environment. Think netDevOps bin activate, and let's say history, grab Ansible playbook tail -5, yeah, like this. Okay, let's go to the proper folder, ansible.1q tunnels. Okay, so let's run this. And I broke everything. Not good. Breaking stuff is not good. Okay, it says key error SJBR1 1001. I really like breaking stuff. Interesting. So it's going to lab topology, calculate new variables, an exception occurs during task execution, see a full traceback, fatal matrix 1, unexpected. Okay, let me use this VVV. Okay, so this breaks under IS.1Q tunnel line 51. Interesting. Line 51 in run. Okay. It says key error. Okay, so this hostname and port number to device. Okay, let me do this. Let's see what is wrong. Good old troubleshooting. Oh, I see now. Haha. Yeah. I don't have 1001 anywhere. Okay. So after we ran this, there are two very important things that are going to be done. For matrix switch, let's say matrix 1, if I go under interfaces and let's say interface 1.1, we add the following details. We add VLAN, we add this description. It says it's now connected to Ethernet 1.1 R1 and lab host name is SJBR1 of that device and pod number is 1000. You see that the VLAN increments. And for pod gear, it should be somewhere on the top. Yeah, so this is R2 and we need to have this one. So now R2 is assigned this lab hostname variable that it says, okay, I'm now SJBR2. I am part of the lab 1_programmability_lab and my pod number is 1000. So yeah, let's now actually continue working on this. We need to create a template for the matrix switch. It is going to take those variables and convert it to actually isconfig. And this is supposed to be pretty straightforward. I think so. Let's create a folder called templates. And templates is going to have at least one Jinja 2 template. This is going to be interfaces. Interface J2. And this will be a Jinja template where we say for interface in interfaces. We will have and for. Let's say what? For interface in interfaces, we are going to have interface. This is actual CLI, and interface will be interface.name. Interface.name like this. The first thing that we are going to assign will be if interface.description is defined, then we are going to say description interface description if state if interface state is defined and init and if. Here we also need and if. So if this is true, we will now have if interface state is equal to present. This is going to have no shutdown. Elif interface state is equal to absent. This is going to be no shutdown. Oops, shutdown. And if. Okay. This will be at the very bottom. Hi, fake stars. Okay. We have description, we have shutdown, no shutdown. So we will now need to have if interface type is equal to .1q tunnel. We need to have configuration switch port mod .1q minus tunnel. You know what? No, we actually may have different thing. We can say switch port mod. Let's do this. We will rename interfaces to L2 interfaces. I can say interfaces mod okay. Let's copy this, and we need to specify the interfaces between two switches are trunks. So those are what? E70. Okay. E70 mod trunk 71 mod trunk. Okay. Switch port mod interface mod. Okay. So now we will say if interface mod. I think I will actually need to do it before. If interface mod is equal to trunk, I need to say switch port trunk encapsulation .1q elif interface mod is equal to .1q tunnel. We need to say switch port access VLAN interface.vlan. Okay. I think this is pretty much it. So then this lab topology, okay, this is enough here. Next, I think I can actually add it here. Okay, so this playbook is running on matrix group and on pod gear, and it will load the appropriate topology, rows lab topology. All right. So then this one will be executed. Okay, I think we are actually all set. So is command, no, this will be name configure matrix switches for topologies. This is going to run is command, and is command will get a source, templates, L2 interfaces J2, and we need a condition when groups, when matrix in groups, I think something like this. Okay. Not sure if this is going to work, but whatever. Okay. I will need to get rid of Ansible connection local. Let's rename this to labsystem.yaml, and let's go to our Ansible server. Let's remove everything. Okay. I will actually make a copy of this. Let's do debug YAML. Labsystem.yaml will remove all of this crap. Okay. So now we can re-upload the whole thing. will take a while. Ah, no. I don't need this task. Completed in less than a minute. We will have to re-upload the lab system YAML again. Okay. So we will also need to source our virtual environment. Oops. NetDevOps, yeah. Bin activate. Okay. So if I say Ansible playbook I'm not sure why do you hear any echo. This is the first time I hear a feedback like this. Does someone else hear the echo? So all of my videos though can be found on the, so if you go here above, there is youtube.com/dmfigel. All of my streams were recorded. Okay, so we have Ansible version 2.5, Python version 3.6. Perfect. So now if I go to my enterprise network, no, what did I do? Network programmability lab, scripts. No, yes, and Ansible. And .1q tunnels. Okay. Yes, every single video is uploaded on YouTube. Okay. So Ansible playbook. Lab system YAML. No, there were some arguments that I had to put. What were those? -e. This and lab system system.yaml. Okay, it says the fading line appears to be matrix in groups. This one looks easy to fix. Seems there is a value started with a quote and the YAML parser is expecting to see line ended with the same kind of quote, for instance. Could be written as... Okay. Let's re-upload this and run it. The error was connected device false. Key error. Interesting. Okay, so it's line 35, interface connected device. Line 35. Okay, so this one is going through every interface. Let's do this. If no, I haven't worked with a CPU or NTC file copy, but I think I'm going to, because as part of my lab system I need to upgrade devices. Okay, so I have to check if the mod is equal to .1q tunnel. If interface, let's do this. If connected device, let's do this. If connected device is not in interface, or connected device port is not in interface, then we are going to raise an exception. Raise, yeah, I have to change the whole thing. So we're going to raise an exception. Interface, and this will be interface name on the switch name does not contain is.1q tunnel, but does not list, but does not have keys connected device or connected device port. Okay, great. So now we are formatting this, where we say interface name is going to be interface name, and then switch name is going to be matrix switch. That's pretty much it. Otherwise, we are going to run this. Okay, let's upload this and try again. You can try make sound louder on Twitch. So, okay. Let's run this again without VVV. Let's see. Damn it. Unexpected exception. This is probably a bug. Thank you. Line 37. Oh, yes, this is definitely wrong syntax. Okay. Okay, let's re-upload this again. Okay, something is happening. Oh, there was some print statement that I didn't take into account. Okay, is command module does not support src is not supported parameter. Interesting. Let's see their docs. So Ansible is command 2.5. List of commands to set the remote device over the configured provider. The resulting output of the command is returned. Okay. I don't remember. I don't remember. How can I use a template for this? Let's also see in Google. is command use template. No, not this one. Oh, correct. I used incorrect one. It's obviously is config. Okay. So here. Okay, src. Okay. Okay, first let's re-upload this file. Let's try again, guys. Could you tell me if this is better? I tried to increase the sound in my settings. I think now it should be better. Perfect. Okay. So if I did everything correctly, oh, and what else? I need to change my lab system YAML. No. Main YAML, this one. is config, like this. Okay. Oh, this music is horrible. Let me switch to something else. Okay, let's run this. Let's see what is going on here. Ah, damn it. Encounter unknown tag interface. Ginger was looking for the following tag and for or else. Okay. Interface is interface name if this part looks good to me. This part is okay. This part is okay. This doesn't make sense to me. If interface is defined, oh, this may be it. Okay, let's try again. Interfaces is undefined. What? Okay. Oh, dict object has no attribute VLAN. Okay. If interface.vlan is defined, and if, okay, this part, what about this part? Okay, it seems it executes this for every single device, even though I have a condition right here. Okay, I think groups is all groups, and I need to change this. Let's see. Ansible debug all variables. Group names, groups, host variables. Let's check this one. Group names. Group names is a list of all groups. Okay, group names is correct one. Okay, this part is should be easy enough. Okay, I think we are good to go. So this one, yeah, these two files. Oh, and also here I need to delete my print statement. Okay, this one, and this one. Okay. Okay, four devices were skipped. That's a good sign. Changed matrix 1 and matrix 2. So let's look here. And I think I just lost console. Thanks. I'm glad you liked my head. Okay, yeah, my console is dead, I think, for all of these devices. Okay, that's not a big deal. Okay. BX is X-Red. Thanks very much for following. Okay, I need to do one command here so CLI does not yell at me about duplex. Okay. So let me do this. I'm going to rerun this playbook. And actually, you know what? I'm not going to rerun it because I already see that it changed. So I believe it's more or less okay. I'm going to add additional things that I wanted to add. So for we should be able to see config for a matrix 1 and matrix 2 here. But I also want to load specific config for R1, R2, switch 1 and switch 2. And I already have my config files here in the folder. The only thing it does is just contains a host name, but that's pretty much the only thing I need. So let me check one thing though. Okay. So let's do this. Configure pod gear according to the topology, according to the lab. Configure matrix switches according to the lab. So here we are going to load specific device. Okay, and this is going to have when pod gear in group names, and this is not going to contain a template, but it should go under topologies, and here this should be No. I think lab type configs, and here will be inventory hostname. Actually, no, that is not correct. It should be lab hostname YAML, no, txt. Okay. So the only part is that I forgot how to escape properly this piece. And I think I had an example somewhere. Yeah, I should just put this. Okay. No. Here. So, like this. I guess it should be fine. Let's see. Okay. Let's upload this. Okay, it's possible that I screwed it up. Okay. So I'm referring to lab type and lab host name. This should be part of my iOS config module. Let's see. Lab host name, pod number, lab host name, pod number. So I didn't put lab type there. I think I need to put lab type to make my life a little bit easier. So let's try lab type. It's going to be lab type, and we are going to say lab type. Okay, so I have to re-upload this file and I have to rerun this. Okay, something is happening. Finished successfully. Okay, let's run this. Okay, so if everything is done correctly, now R1 is supposed to have the host name as JBR1, which it does. This one is supposed to have as JBR2, this one as JDSW1, as JDSW2. Perfect. And now matrix switches are supposed to have .1q tunnel config on some interfaces. And show interface description. Yeah, like here. So Ethernet 1.1. This one is connected to R1. This one is connected to R1. I think I can even improve this description. I can say QnQ tunnel to some port on matrix switch. Yeah, it may be a little bit lengthy, but that might be cool. So I can say that, okay, this port is part of the tunnel towards some another device actually. So let's look on Ethernet 1.1. Still show run interface 1.1. Okay. So this has VLAN 2500. What about 1.2? This one 2500.01. Okay, so R1 is connected to switch 1. Let's see. No, not this file. Topology file. Yeah, so for example here, but we have actually physical gear as well. So I have port and then physical gear, or you were talking about something else? Okay, meanwhile, let me bring up my whiteboard and I will have to connect it here. Hold on. Okay. So I'm going to create some config snippet for this lab. So let's say we have okay, and I need to set it up. Okay. Okay. Oops, no, I don't need this. Okay. Okay. So I have let's put just BR1. I have BR2. I have TSW1 and I have TSW2. So 1.1, okay, This one is 1 1 1 1. BR1 to DSW2. This one is 1 2. This one is 1 1. Then BR2 to DSW1. This is 1 2. No, this is 1 1 2 1 2. And then this is 2 1 2 1 2. And then these two are connected via like this. Okay. So I'm thinking of putting some startup config for those, static one, rerun my playbook, and if everything is done correctly, then we should be able to have a ping across this. So let me think what we can create with this one. So I can let's do this. Let's I don't know how. So I can assign, let's change the color to red, for example. So let's put this one in access VLAN 10. This one in access VLAN 10. This port in 20A20. This one in AA20. This one is going to have SVI 10, and we will have a 10 network, which is 10 0 10, and SVI 10. Let's put, let's say 100 to 1. We will have SVI 20, 101. This guy is also going to have two SVIs. This one is going to be trunk port. And we should be able to carry the traffic for BR1 and BR2. This port is going to have 10 0 10 1. It's going to have 10 0, so 10 1 and 21 on, so this is on this port. This will be 20.1. This port is going to have 10.2, and this port diagonal one will have 20.2. Okay, let's create this. So we are going to have it statically as part of startup config. Okay, so this should be IP address 10 0 10 1, no shutdown, and 1 2 will be 20.1. Okay. One is going to be in VLAN 20. Okay. Now switches is where there will be a little bit more work. Okay. So this one is going to be 1.1 and 1.2 are going to be access ports. So we will have also ETP mode, transparent. We will add it to the top. Spanning tree mode, rapid PVST. Okay, this is going to be switch port, mod access, switch port access VLAN 10, and spanning tree port fast. And I'm not 100% sure that it's correct. Spanning tree port fast? Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Mod access VLAN 10 spanning tree port fast. No shutdown, there is going to be no IP address, and we will have interface VLAN 10, IP address 10.0.10.101, no shutdown. Okay, we'll have 20, the same thing. Port 1.2 is going to be access VLAN 20. This is pretty much it here, and there is also port 1.3. Oh no, 1.0. And this is going to be switch port trunk encapsulation .1q, switch port mod trunk, switch port allowed VLAN all, so we don't need that. That's what we can actually say, trunk allowed VLAN all. Okay, no shutdown. Okay, this looks good to me. And then 1.1 on this guy is going to be as part of VLAN 20. Yeah. Okay. So 1.1 on this guy is going to be as part of VLAN 20. This one 10. This is going to be different IP address, and one additional thing is that I need to create VLAN 10 and 20. Here and here. Okay, so let me do this. This one, this folder, and lab system YAML. I'm going to re-upload. Okay. So I can now rerun my playbook, and let's see. Okay, something is going on. Okay. So a bunch of stuff happened. I have this IP addresses here. Okay, so if I did everything correctly, I should be able to ping remote sites. And for now I can't, but add duplex mismatch. Yeah, obviously I did something incorrectly. I think I know what I did incorrectly. I didn't do... Yeah. Oh, and I lost access here again. Show run interface E to 1. That is a good question. Show interface trunk. Yeah, it's a trunk. The problem is that I didn't tunnel spanning tree, I think. And this is what I had to do to get it done. Show run interface, no. Conf t interface E to 1, L2 protocol, tunnel, CDP, LDP, STP, VTP. And also I'm going to add additional thing here everywhere, which is duplex full. Protocol tunnel. L2 protocol minus tunnel will be CDP. Let's have LDP as well. Doesn't matter. I would like to have all, but it seems it doesn't work that way. Spanning tree and VTP. Also, I'm going to add here duplex full everywhere, and here as well. So duplex full. Oh, I think I only need this on routers. This is a specifics of my particular lab environment, unfortunately. Okay, so... Okay, I think we are good to go. Let's re-upload this. Run our playbook again. Okay. Nope. Oh, SVI 10 is working. But SVI 20 is not. So SVI 10 is working, it's already interesting. So let's look on CDP neighbors. So CDP is tunneled correctly. because I'm able to see this part here. Why do I see two connections though? 1.1 is also connected to DSW1. Oh, okay, they're all connected here. And that's why they can see everyone through the management network. Through E00. Okay, I think this is not good. They should be able to see. Let me see what I had in configs. Through 1.0 here and 1.0 here. They should be able to see each other there, but they see on 1.1 somehow. Oh, this is router. This doesn't make any sense. Let's look here. Okay, so they see each other on 1.0. That's good. On E00 they see each other as well, but this is just because they are connected to management network through this interface. In fact, what I think I should do, and I think I'm going to do this right now. Let's do this. And we also will say spanning tree. I think it's PPTU filter enable. Spanning tree port fast. Oh, on router it doesn't make any sense. Let's see on switch. Nope. What is the command? Port fast PPTU filter enable? No. Spanning tree port fast. Edge. Okay, edge. But I think I should be able to say like this as well. No. Edge PPTU. Filter. No. That feeling when you don't remember some commands. Okay, let me see on my notes. Cisco enable BPGU filter. Interface spanning tree BPT filter enable. How did I miss it? Spanning tree? I don't see this command here. ppdu filter enable. Oh, all right. Of course, I'm in global config mode, right? Okay. Okay. Show IP interface brief. Let's ping again. 10.0.1. We can ping ourselves. I think we can't ping the neighbor. Oh, we actually can ping the neighbor now. 101. Let's say 1. Oh no, IP address is 10.101 and 10.102. So working. 10.1, 10.2, 20. Sorry, 20.101 and 20.102. Perfect. Yay! That's great. Caleb Scheid, thank you very much for following. Look at this, this is amazing. So now we were able to configure our lab topology from these templates and have underlying matrix infrastructure configure correct VLANs. Yes, that looks great. So, yeah, without any manual configuration, basically. Okay, so this is this topology. You know what I'm going to do next? I'm going to say, well, you know what? I would like to connect. I want to have another topology where I have BR1 connected to BR2, and that's all. Okay, and let's see how hard or easy it is. Okay, so we need to modify our action plugin we need to modify our playbook just a little bit, because I thought of scenarios that right now that will break it a little bit. So here in the when, I think I also need to say and I can change this a little bit. If lab I think I need this. If has attribute, no. I don't know how to do this, by the way. Ansible when variable exit is defined. Oh, you can actually have is defined. Okay, perfect. So then we will say here, if lab hostname is defined, this will be better, because we may have pod gear that is not assigned to any lab. Okay, so this is this will be a little bit better condition here. Now I want to have this def, and I'm going to change this to like this. there will be both on ports 1, 1. Okay. I'm going to have my new config folder, and this is going to be brew br1 and brew br2. Okay, and this is going to have a little bit different config now. So let's say I will also specify a new network like this. So ideally I would also want to reload the devices, and I'm thinking if it actually makes sense. Yeah, I mean, for the real stuff you would also want to reload and erase startup config, I guess. But for this example we are not going to do that. Well, it depends, maybe I will actually do it, but a little bit later. So for now config will be a little bit messed up from two labs, but that's not a big problem. Okay, and here is IP address like this. So this is my topology dev. Now I am changing my labs and I say I will have one dev. And the port number everywhere will be 2000. I don't have switches anymore. I have here 2000 and it's lab type dev. And the lab hostname will be brew. Like this. Okay. Great, so okay. I think I need to upload these files, and that's all. Okay. Now also let me go to one of matrix switches here, and let's say show IP interface brief. No, let's do show interface description. So I also expect that the ports that are part of different topology will be also admin down now. So basically, like, most of these are supposed to be down after running my playbook. Okay, so let's try this. So our lab name is going to be now lab1_dev. Okay, exception occurred, brew R1. Oh, okay. It's brew BR1. Somewhere yeah. Let's actually have R1. Okay, R1. R2. Let's also change it here. Okay, and then in one dev as well. Okay, so I need to upload this one, this one, this one. I think that's pretty much it. Okay, let's rerun this. Brew What is brew switch 1? Okay, this part. Topology. What is brew switch 1? I don't see it anywhere. Brew switch 1 port 2000. No, not here. Not here. R1 and R2. Oh, let me try. Okay, switch 1 has no attribute updated Vars. Okay, I have to, well, there was some mistake for switch 1 and switch 2, but they do not participate in this topology. So that's all right. I'm going to adjust my script a little bit. Okay, I see now R1 and R2 matrix 1 and matrix 2 has changed. So now, if I do show interface description, I should see, you see more ports are now in admin down. And R1 and R2 has change of config. You see it's brew R1 now. I still see partially old config because I didn't do anything to erase current config. But I should be able to ping another site now. Which I can. Perfect. So basically, using this structure, I was able to modify my overlay lab on top of my infrastructure without any physical change to the topology. I think that's cool. So yeah, right now what bothers me is this. That I have left over. So because I'm not saving current config, I can erase, I can do config replace. To config replace from nvram startup config force. Yeah, so let me do this as well. Let's run this. Okay, what I need to change? I need to go to lab topology. And for pod gear, I'm going to have another playbook. Which says reset configuration to startup. And this is going to do commands. I think I have proper. No, I don't see here commands. Lines, alias is commands. Let's just keep comments. And this is going to be configure, replace, nvram startup config force. Okay, let's just leave it like this. Reset configuration of pod gear to startup. Okay. So we can also try doing this. Reset configuration of delete existing VLANs on pod switches. And when lab host name is defined and let's look on my groups. Pod switches. Pod switches in group names. Okay, and this is going to be delete nvram VLAN dot let's see, dear die no dear okay, let's just show VLAN. Oh, because I have VTP more transparent, I think it doesn't have anything. Show VTP status. Okay, that's all right. Yeah, I may end up in a scenario where I will have to delete the file, but right now I don't need it, so let's delete this part. Okay, so okay. Okay, I may have to add delay. Let me see if there is some kind of delay in IIS config. After backup, before defaults, diff against, provider, replace, save when. Okay, Ansible Delay. To pause, wait, sleep per host, use wait for condition before delay, wait for delay. Okay, wait for timeout Yeah. Okay. So let's do wait for 10 seconds. And this is going to be wait for timeout 10. Okay. So let me re-upload this file and rerun this thing again. Oh, I didn't fix this one. Okay, something didn't work out here. Oh, right, because this is supposed to be is command. Okay. And let me redo my module here. Or actually I can just redo the playbook. Loop updated vars. Let's do this when is defined. Okay. So playbook fixed. Oh, only playbook. Okay, let's rerun this. When statement should not include Jinja 2 templating delimiter such as. Okay. Okay. So now we are waiting here for 10 seconds. You see there is no crash anymore. Set of configuration of pod gear to start up. Wait for 10 seconds. Configure pod gear switches according to the lab. Okay. So now. Oh, by the way, you see that config is gone. If I ping now 10.2, I can ping. Perfect. So now I should be able to change the lab to different lab. Okay, let's look here. Something has happened. You see now it has interface E11 and E12, SJBR1. Let's do ping. There may be some spanning tree conversions, so I'm pretty sure. Let's do repeat. Oh, here it is. So now I'm able to ping another site. I can ping This one I can ping everything. Perfect. Okay, I have these descriptions. Okay, now let's rerun the dev lab again. Okay, this one didn't like it when statements should not include changes to templating delimiters. Interesting. This is host Vars. I think I didn't save the file, but okay. So now I have brew R1, and now I have my different lab, and I am able to ping my brew R2 now. Perfect, that looks so great. So let me just for the test re-upload this file again to see if this syntax works. Yeah, okay, it works. It doesn't yell anymore. This shouldn't do anything really to my lab. Okay. Okay, look at this. This is superb. Wow. The result's better than I expected. Oh, thanks, Dex. So this really does the magic. I'm almost willing to actually. I think I still have like 30 minutes free, and it doesn't make sense to jump into another task, but I think I want to make this topology bigger and see if it's going to work or not. So what if we just add the copy of this thing can I duplicate? Can't duplicate node while node is running. That's alright, I will recreate this. So let's add 2 more routers and let's add 4 more switches. Okay, this one is going to be, so let's just have very similar thing here. So switch 3, switch 4, this one is router 3, router 4, matrix. Let's do matrix 3, I need to have a bunch more. I need to have 8 adapters here. It's going to be matrix 3, and this is going to be matrix 4. Okay. What about this guy? Okay, I think I have 6 more ports. Or I'm going to add a management switch here. Okay. It's to 10 is connected to it, a bunch more. Okay. Okay. So here I have 7 to 7, 7 1 to 7 1. Okay. And I will have, oops, I need to connect 0 0 ports to the switch everywhere. Okay, so this is my management network. And now I have to connect everything else in similar fashion. So I connect 4 ports of Ethernet 1.0 here on the left side to Ethernet 1.1. Okay, so let's try doing that. This will take a while, but that's all right. Yeah, correct. I'm going to add those as trunks. Okay. So 1 2 to 1 2, 1 3 to 1 3, 1 0 to 2 0 to 1. Okay. Okay, 1 3 to 1 3, and now 2 0 to 1 0. Okay, and now I'm going to add trunks 2 3 to 2 3 here, 7 3 to 7 3, like here. Okay, so before we continue though, I need to check one thing on matrix switch. Do I have VLAN.file. Show VLAN brief, show VTP status. Oh, it's server mode. I have to fix that. I want to have everywhere transparent. So I'm going to add maybe I will add just another template. Let's do what? Let's look on my groups. Infra. Let's do infra. No. New. File. Let's actually do matrix for now. Matrix J2. That said, I forgot how can I include another template. Ginger include another template. Let's check Ginger include versus extends. Extending allows you to replace blocks from parent template instead of including parts. This allows you to have a single template containing your template layout and you only insert the content. I think I'm ready to try extends. So this is going to say L2 interfaces J2 block interfaces. Actually no, because then I will have to define this block different place. No, then I will just use include for this task. Ginger to include. Okay, include. Okay, so to include L2 interfaces J2 VTP mode transparent. No VLAN. Let me see if this actually works. Okay, it works. And then VLAN. Let's do 2000 to through 4000. Okay. Spanning tree mode. Spanning tree mode rapid PVST. And that's pretty much it. I think. That said, I can put it as part of initial config. Or maybe not. I don't want to delete. I'm thinking what is the proper way to do it. Technically, it can be part of startup config. And with so many VLANs, you need to use MSTP, and you will have issues if you don't. Correct. Let's see my snippet. Okay, name lab revision 1. Instance 1 will be VLANs 1000 to 4000. Okay. Okay, this should be alright. So, as part of my thing here, I need to say matrix J2. And let me do one thing. I'm curious why I don't see the syntax highlighting for this J2 file. Whatever. Okay, so this should work fine. VTP mode transparent, VLAN, spanning tree mode, MST. Okay, great. So now I need to extend my matrix 1 and matrix 2 files. Let's do this. Copy matrix 1 to matrix. No, before I do that, I need to establish these trunks. I need to say that 7.2 and 7.3 are trunks. Okay. Well, that's pretty much it, I think. 2 and 3. Okay. This is going to be matrix 3. Everything is the same besides R1. It's going to be R3 now. And switch 1 is going to be switch 3. Now matrix 4. Nope. We need to copy matrix 2 to matrix 4. R2 is now R4. And switch 1 and switch 2 are switch 4. Okay, this part is fine. Let me look on my playbook here. This part I don't really like. Lab hostname is defined. I would like to do it on all gear, pod gear. No, it should be pod gear how that group is called? Pod minus gear. If pod minus gear is in group name. So I want to do this for every single device. And also I would like to be able to control on per pod basis. Okay, we will right now leave it like this, and then I will do what I wanted to do. Okay, I need to close this. Okay, 4 matrix switches right there. Ansible connection local. Oh, by the way. Okay. I'm going to delete this file. Okay, I need to define new files, new hosts here. So let's do this. This will be R3 and R4. I don't want to mess with the current management IP addresses. So this will be 5 and this will be 6. This will be, I mean, I could, but I don't want to. So this will be 7 and 8. And I will have 2 more matrix switches, 3 and 4, 3, 4. Okay. So I think that's pretty much it. I can load my topology and I can configure I need to configure management. So let's go to the console. Okay. Okay. Management. So show run interface E00. I think I put everything in management VRF. Show run VRF, I think. Okay. We will start with 5 and 6. 5 and 6. What else? There should be also the domain name dmfigle.me, I think. Show run section VTY. Show run section crypto. No, show run I user. Okay, need this as well. IPSSH version 2. What else? can just do show run to see the whole thing. Username, domain name, interface, SSH, control plane, and this part I think it's configured by default. No, it's not configured by default. I need to add this as well. And I need to say crypto key generate RSA modulus 2048. Okay. If all is done correctly, this should work. On router 3, let's also set conft. Okay, now 6. Oh, one more thing. Correct. So duplex full, no and no shutdown. Okay, conft interface 0 duplex full, no shut, and actually VR as well. WR. Okay, 7. And 8. Okay, and now 53. And 54. Oh, this is supposed to fail. Right, this is supposed to be no switch port. Okay, conft interface E00, no switch port. I will have to redo it here. Okay. Okay. And I have to redo switch 3 and 4. So 107. Let's run this again. And 108. Okay. Tropy and brief. Okay, so now this guy is supposed to ping 107, 108, 53, 54. Okay, so and I'm also should be able to SSH 168, 122, 143. Yes, admin. Okay, and to 107. Yes, admin. Okay, and to one of the routers, let's say 5. Yes, admin. Okay, looks good to me. So if I done everything correctly, I can delete the Ansible log. Don't need this one. What is this? This is some output. I don't need this one. I may I may say I want to have 2 programmability labs. 2 bots. Okay, so this is going to be 1 and switch 1, switch 3, switch 4, R1, R3 and R4. Okay, this looks good to me. Okay, and I will have another instance of this. This will be 1 lab programmability dev and 1 dev. 1 lab, okay. Like this. And here I'm going to have R3 will be port 2000. And this will be brew R1, brew R2, and something like this. Okay, this looks good to me. So let's do the following. On our here, I'm going to remove the whole folder and re-upload it. On every device, I want to make sure I did WR. Not here. WR, 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 WR. Okay. Okay. Okay, so this looks good. Now, if I didn't screw up, my thing is supposed to work. So let's go to the folder, scripts, Ansible. Oh, cd Ansible .1q tunnels. Okay, so so I'm going to use my 2 programmability lab. Okay, then something is happening. Okay, matrix 3 has failed for some reason. This is interesting. Matrix 4 is working though. R3 has failed. And this message is amazing. Switch 3 has failed. It seems the devices where I did not connect via SSH first failed. Okay, router 3, switch 3 and matrix 3 have failed. I'm guessing it's because of this. Let's check. Ansible CFG. Host key checking false. Means that the host key checking Paramika mode is reasonably slow. Interesting. Check my host YAML. Switch 3 is 107, router 3 is 105, and matrix 3 is 153. Let's do this history, grab SSH, tail -5. I connected to 53, 107 and 105. 153, 107 and 105. Interesting, only those failed. I may have a log file. Let's see what it is in the log file. Let's do this. Let's create another one. Debug 2. Lab topology roles. No roles. Matrix and pod gear. Variables files. All right. Tasks. Let's do IS facts. Like this. To Ansible playbook debug2.yaml. Seems everything is alright here. The music is awful. Let me switch to some other song. Switch 3 has failed again. No, it's all right. Okay, I think let's also increase the timeout for Paramika. Paramika connection. No, it's not here. Oh, let's also have this. Using persistent connections with Paramika, the connection runs in the background process. This host doesn't already have a valid SSH key. By default, Ansible will prompt to add a host key. Will cause connections running in the background process to fail. Comment this line to have Paramika to auto-magically add keys. Okay, let's just There is also SSH connection. Leaving off control persist will result in poor performance. So use Paramico on older platforms. Control pass, pipelining, transfer method smart. Use TTY persistent connection. Okay. Let's do this. Oh, I already had this. How to add true. Okay, but let's just leave persistent connection. Command timeout value define amount of time to wait for a command or a PC call before timing out. The value for the command timeout must be less than the value of persistent connection idle timeout. Connect timeout. Okay, let's rerun this. I want to make sure that it still can manage the devices all right. Okay, it seems all right. Okay, so let me rerun my Ansible playbook. Okay, so now I have 2 copies of the lab where I need to be able to ping 10.102. No, 2. It's to repeat 10,000. It should take a while until the topology converges. And on router 3 I have the same topology. Oh, this one is already working, and this one is already working. Perfect. So I still should be able to ping 10.0, 10.102, which is SVI, and 101. Okay. And ping. Oh no! This is the worst. Okay, this can ping SVI as well. It can ping his neighbor. It can ping SVI of another switch. Perfect. So this part works. Now I want to switch to topology. How it's called? One programmability lab, one dev. Let's see. Okay. So now I should be able, and let's ping, just to repeat here. Just a million. Okay, required configuration log. We are reconfiguring the lab. The pings are dropping now. We are waiting for 10 seconds everywhere. Pings are still dropping. Some configuration is up, interface is up. Pings are not yet working. Okay, this is unfortunate. I may have messed up here somewhere incorrectly. No, this looks good to me. Oh, pings are up. Now if you go here, this one already has topology brew R1. And if I do ping of the neighbor, I can ping as part of the new topology. So basically now I scaled this topology to 2 lab pods, where in one pod I created one topology, in another pod I created another topology, and I can seamlessly switch between those. Man, this is so cool. Okay, I'm ready for one more test. So let's do this. I'm going to switch back to 2 programmability labs, and I'm going to launch this one. Let's do this million, or it's how many? Yeah, it's a million. This one is JBR1, and let's do R3 as the same thing. So here pings are supposed to fail because they are now part of different topology. Here the pings should work. We are launching our playbook. Let's look on this side by side. Okay, some configuration was up. Okay, pings here are up, and here as well. Look at this. Isn't this amazing? There are some drops here and now, but those are part of the lab itself. So maybe I'm just having too much traffic in my lab. Perfect. I like this. Okay, I'm going to stop this, and oh, and you can see that the host names are right now the same, even though those are two different devices. So I have now, so yeah, let's do the summary. I think we are going for more than 3 hours. What we did. So before I already did my module called is.1qtunnel, which configures a bunch of stuff and modifies the variables. Today we added some templates, not complicated templates, pretty easy templates, which configures matrix switches. We added startup configs for two different lab topologies. One topology is called dev, another one is called programmability lab. We added a bunch of new equipment here. We added two new routers, two new switches, and two new matrix switches. We connected everything with trunks here between matrix switches. We created a new file here and in labs, which is called, for example, one programmability lab and one dev, where I say, okay, I define mapping of every physical device to device in the topology and to the pod number. And here I have two pods. One is 1000 and another one is 2000. And after I run my magical playbook, I am restoring my config of devices to the default one using configure replace. Let me go quickly to this playbook. So first I am updating the variables. I am reconfiguring the matrix switches with the proper .1qtunnel settings. I'm resetting config on the pod gear using configure replace and vrap startup config force. And I'm waiting for 10 seconds and I'm reconfiguring the pod gear according to the specific startup config file in the somewhere here, right here, for example. So it goes under specific directory according to the lab type and specific lab hostname and gets config there. Reconfigure the whole thing, and using these two main files of labs, you can define what exactly do you want. Do you want to have one of this lab type, one of these, or two of the same type? And we saw that basically we were running the playbook live and we were launching continuous pings, and after playbook finished and some time passed for spanning tree reconvergence, we were able to get the pings across our topologies, and we deleted previous config from previous lab like this. So if you look here, for example, those are two physical devices, but they have the same config except of this management. So I think it's pretty cool. So I think we will stop right here. I think we did a lot of progress today, and I'm glad to see that this system is working. I will commit the code probably tomorrow, and recording I hope will be up soon as well. For the next time, we are going to move away from this lab topology and go to our main topology, which is going to be redesigned for multi-vendor stuff. And I think and I hope we will start playing these NTC Ansible modules and Napalm Ansible. For today, that's all. Thank you very much for joining, and talk to you next Sunday. Have a great week. Bye.